Welcome back to Stacked, and today we're going to talk about our Escapade system and why storytelling is most likely your best marketing funnel. So most funnels are super boring, right? You've got your lead magnet, you've got your 5 email sequence, you've got your call to action at the bottom, but you know what doesn't get deleted? A good story, because it's not just on the screen, it's in the heads. So today we're going to talk about how storytelling, especially relatable, chaotic, and honest storytelling, is the funnel that no one really sees coming, but everyone does remember, and it'll get you good word of mouth. We're breaking down the exact Escapade email system that we use in Dallowry Flow to create inbox momentum, build trust, and convert clients without pitching. Plus, how you can steal the system for yourself. As humans, we write about the cracked screens, camping fails, AI bots getting it wrong, and missed pickups at the wrong airport, not because they're strategic, but because they're human. They show a level of error. And honestly, we love to listen to other people getting it more wrong than us. It helps build our confidence, even if a byproduct, right? So when someone opens your email and feels something, surprise, humor, inspiration, they're going to remember you, not just what you were offering. And when they remember you, you're already halfway to building a client, even if it's maybe not a closed cash sale. So what you want to be is relatable over perfect, always. And that's even proof of this podcast here. We record it on our phone from our living room, and then we upload. No edits, no fancy like pulling out what we mess up. If I stutter, I stutter, because relatable over perfect wins. So we really try not to just like wing things. Every escapade follows a repeatable rhythm. So although the information is on the fly and it's real and it's human, we do use a structure. We like to start with the chaos. And we start almost mid-moment so that we grab attention, almost like if we were jumping into a conversation with a friend. My kid is crying, the dog threw up, and I realized I double booked myself again, right? That would be maybe an opening. Then we're going to land a lesson. We're going to connect the story to a deeper insight and a relatable truth. So it turns out the real problem wasn't my calendar, it was my system. And then we're going to do a soft call to action. Not a hard sell, just a nudge, an invitation, or a peek behind the curtain. P.S. This is why we built an automation that auto-schedules calls based on availability. Want it? Right, so you could do something like that. Honestly, what we've used for our escapades is more like a diary. It literally just talks about, here's what we did today, here's what we learned, here's where we failed, here's why it matters. And we just let the reader know what we're up to. We don't have a lot of call to actions inside of our escapades. It's not meant for that. We've realized that what we do is really hard to explain. And it's super hard to explain in a 1 hour or 15 minute, get to know us call. So instead, the best way for somebody to get to know us or what we do is to just read about the different things that we do. Because a lot of clients coming in, they think they know what we do. And they ask for a very simple, I want you to build a course about how leads should be called twice. And instead we say, well, why would we not just build an automation that automatically calls the lead twice? Then you don't have to train anybody to do it. And so that's what the escapades help us with. And we've written about 153 of these. And they've brought in clients, they've brought partners, and also they give us more podcast ideas. And even sometimes they give us referrals because they felt like they knew us and they felt like they could at least high level understand the concept of what we might be able to provide. So we let the stories do the heavy lifting and people read them how they're going to read them. We understand a lot of times newsletters aren't going to be read. Ours are daily drips. So if you skip 7, you're still good because it's a daily diary. And that's where the magic can happen is when you let a lead just soak into the system, they'll reach out when they are ready. When they hit reply, that's like a gold nugget because they didn't have to respond. It was a newsletter. They didn't have to reach out. We were just going to talk whether nobody was listening. Kind of like this podcast. We were going to do this regardless of anybody actually listened. And we're going to do it because we just know it's information that needs to exist in the world and because we just love sharing our journey along the way. And that's where the escapades came from as well. And so it allows somebody to more naturally reach out to us and kind of understand what we do and maybe ask some concepts that we hadn't thought of before because they understand a totally different industry than what we've worked with in the past. And here's how we managed it in the back end, right? We have a story vault where all these emails are stored. It's a centralized database inside Dallowry Flow, and that way we can pull out that one email anytime. We also have an email scheduler. So when you ask for the daily escapades, it's going to automatically dump those into your inbox once a day. We don't have to think about it. And sometimes there's a call to action if we have a special offer going on. Most of the time, it's literally just a look behind the screen, if you will. And any reply triggers an action, just like we talked about in the escalation tree. That way we don't miss what they're asking. Or sometimes it's an unsubscribe. That's cool. We're going to automatically handle that. Sometimes it's a question about a particular episode. We're going to understand the context no matter what day that was. And it's going to maybe even include prompt libraries where we can start talking to our ChatGPT just on a regular basis where we're saying, here's what I did today. Here's what I did today. Here's what I did today. And then it's going to help us design the email so we're also not stuck in the creation loop. And it's brought back ghosted leads. It's helped us land a huge revenue share client, and it's converted affiliate interest into paid partnerships. And so you can take this and you can make it yours, and you can do something kind of like this. You can write down 10 recent moments that made you laugh, cringe, or think. Or 10 things that you did in your job today that maybe people don't realize that you do in your industry. You can ask, what kind of lesson can I pull out of this? Or what did I learn from this situation? And then you can just start with one email. Start with one email or one Facebook post. And if you like doing it, keep going. If it feels natural, keep going. If it doesn't, figure out, can I adjust it and still make it feel natural? Or is this just not the concept for me? But either way, we can guarantee that if you tell better stories, you're going to build deeper trust, you're going to grow without funnel fatigue, and that's really what we would recommend. This is Stacked, where we automate, elevate, and repeat.